Okay, so without wasting time, we'll be starting an exam style question of SBL. Okay, and this question will particularly related to leadership and culture question. Okay, so uh, let me start sharing my screen with you guys. So here we go. Here is a question. As you can see, I compute. Make your habit to look at the tasks first rather than looking at the scenario. So, first thing which we have to do always is looking at the tasks and the relevant and the allocated marks. Okay. Um, Here it is 11 marks for the first requirement. Prepare a report uh, that analyzes the culture of iCompute and assess the implications of your analysis for the company's future performance. Here, the professional marks are available for demonstrating analysis skills when reflecting on the implications of iCompute culture. iCompute is currently reconsidering three high-level processes, advice on legal issues currently, which is outsourced, software support, which is currently also outsourced, and the time recording, which is in-house bespoke software development. And the second requirement we have prepare briefing notes that evaluate using framework model the suitability of the iCompute current approach to each of these high level processes. So, iCompute was founded 20 years ago by the technology entrepreneur Ron Gates. It initially specialized in building bespoke computer software for the financial services industry. However, it has expanded into other specialized areas, and it is currently the third largest software house in the country, employing 400 people. It specializes in bespoke software. Okay, although 24% of its income now comes from the sales of software package designed specifically for car insurance. The company has grown based on a work hard, play hard work ethic, and this still remains. Employees are expected to work long hours and to take part in social activities after work. The revenues have continued to increase over the last few years, but the company has had difficulty in recruiting and retaining staff. See, that's all we are looking at the cultural issues right now. Okay. Now, the approximately one third of all employees leave within their first year of employment at the company. The company, one third of employees live within the first year of employment at the company. The company appears to experience particular difficulty in recruiting and retaining female staff. Understandable? Okay. With 50% of female staff leaving within 12 months of joining the company. Only about 20% of employees are female and they work mainly in marketing and human resources. Okay. The company is currently in dispute with two of the customers okay, who claim that, let me now, its bespoke software did not fit the agreed requirements. iCompute currently outsources all of its legal advice problems to a law firm that specializes in iCompute contracts and legislation. However, the importance of legal advice has led to iCompute considering the establishment of internal legal team responsible for advising on contracts disputes, and employment and legislation. Okay. The support of the bespoke solutions and the car insurance software package was also outsourced year ago to a third party. Although support had been traditionally handled in house, it was unpopular with staff. One of the senior managers responsible for the outsourcing decision claimed that support calls were increasingly varied and complex, reflecting the high competent and users too lazy to read user guides. However, the outsourcing of the support has not proved popular with iCompute customers, and a number of significant complaints have been made about the services given to end users. The company is currently reviewing whether the software support process should be brought back in house. Okay, so these this was our second issue. Then next, the company is still regarded as a technology leader in the market. Okay, good. In the market, although the presence of so many technically gifted employees within the company often creates uncertainty about the most appropriate technology to adopt a solution. One manager commented that we have often adopted or are about to adopt a technology or solution when one of our software developers will ask if we have considered some newly released technology. We usually admit we haven't, and so we are open the adoption process. We seem to be in a state of constant technical paralysis. Although Ron Yates retired 5 years ago, many of the software developers recruited by him are still within the company. Some of these have become operational managers employed to manage teams of software developers on internal and external projects. Suba Kendo is one of the managers who originally joined the company as a trainee programmer. I moved into management because I needed to earn more money. There is a limit to what you can earn here as a software developer. However, I still keep up to date with programming and I am a goalkeeper for one of the company's five side football teams. I'm still one of the boys. Okay. Now, however, many of the software developers are skeptical about their managers. One commented that they are technologically years out of date. Some will insist on writing programs and producing code, but we take it out again as soon as we can replace it with something we have written. Not only are they poor programmers, they are poor managers and don't really know how to motivate us. Although revenues have increased, profits have fallen. This is also blamed on the managers. There is always an element of ambiguity in specifying customers' requirements. In the past, Ron Gates would debate responsibility for requirement changes with the customer. However, we now seem to do all amendments for free. The customer is right, even when we know he is not. No wonder margins are falling. The managers are not firm enough with customers. The software developers are also angry that an in house project has been initiated to produce a system for recording time spent on tasks and projects. Some of the justifications for this is that a few of the projects are on a time and materials basis, and time recording system would permit accurate and prompt invoicing. However, the other justification for the project is that it will improve the estimation of fixed price contracts. It will provide statistical information derived from previous projects to assist account managers preparing estimates to produce codes for bidding for new bespoke development contracts. Vikram Soleski, one of the current software developers, commented that managers do not even have up-to-date mobile phones, probably because they do not know how to use them. Okay. We software developers always have the latest gadgets long before they are actually acquired by the managers. But I like working here. We have a good social scene. And after working long hours, we socialize together, often playing computer games well into the early hours of the morning. It is a great life if you don't weekend. Okay. You are an independent business analyst employed by iCompute to advise the board of directors on the various strategic projects and initiatives. Okay. Now we have to prepare the report, analyze the culture of iCompute, and assess the implication of your analysis for the company's future performance. 11 marks, professional skills, 4 marks for here, analysis skills of where we have to demonstrate analysis skills. We already looked at it. Okay. So let me open my file over here, the Word file as it is, not from the past papers, but one of the important questions we have. So far, so good. Right. Here we go. Now, here it is. I compute is the question name, right? So, yeah, we already look at the scenario, and the reason is why I actually use different highlighters so that if I have to look something while drafting my scenario from the scenario, I will go to that relevant color and look at that paragraph only instead of looking at the scenario again and again. So this is one of the technique, the reason why I had used different colors. Okay, so first requirement now we have a requirement. Okay, first part A. In part, uh, what's happening? In part A, uh, firstly, obviously, we have to report to the board. So we have to address them first to the board of I compute from business analyst, subject, analysis of I compute culture. Okay. So firstly, we have to give an introduction to them. Okay. In introduction, what we will say, the culture of the organization, control B, the culture of an organization can be explored from variety of perspectives and through a number of frameworks and models. No specific model or framework is required by the question. So a variety of appropriate approaches are acceptable. So this, this answer use a model. This model of answer uses various elements of the cultural web. Okay. Now I will give use my next heading, which is culture of iCompute. So stories are told by employees in an organization. Okay, we already looked at those stories. So stories are what? Told by employees in an organization. These often concern uh, events from the history of the organization and highlight significant issues and personalities in the context of iCompute. There is evidence of stories. There is evidence of stories and celebrate the earlier years. Earlier years of the organization when founder Ron Geets had an important role. Now, see, I am connecting it with the scenario. It will automatically will, and I will give some pros and cons and the comparison. That will be our analysis. Okay. See, I'm starting doing that. Ron, which was the founder, was Ron used to debate the responsibility for requirements changes with changes with the customer. In contrast, modern management considered or perceived would be a better word, perceived as weak, giving in too easily too easily in negotiations with customers, not only uh, is this perceived as weakness affecting morale. So far, so good. Now, this is perceived as one of the weakness as we discussed. Okay. Furthermore, but it also appears to be affecting profit margins, and this is an important consequences for the organization. So far, so good. Now, let us discuss about the symbols of the organization. Okay, so here it is. Symbols include logos, offices, cars, titles, and the type of language, and terminology commonly used within within the organization, the language and symbols of technology appear to dominate at iCompute. Software developers constantly scan the horizon for new technological opportunities. Technological opportunities. What I'm doing? Yeah, sorry. Opportunities. Okay. The embrace they embrace these technologies Okay, they embrace these technologies and solutions, and solutions, and as a result, you know, and as a result, continuously continually distract the organization As soon as technical direction or solution is agreed, technical direction and solution is agreed, uh, or almost agreed, a new alternative is suggested. A new alternative is suggested, causing doubt and delay. Further, one of the managers claimed that the company was in state of uh, constant technical paralysis. This paralysis has implications. Furthermore, technological objectives can quickly outweigh business and financial objectives to the detriment of the company as a whole. So far, so good. Now, we are getting per relevant point so far. Okay, so almost 3 marks we are done for this requirement. The perceived inability of managers to effectively participate in technological discussions is derided by software developers who suggest that they are technically out of touch. Ownership and understanding of up to date mobile phones is perceived to be important, particularly by the software developers. Who are an important and powerful group. So far, so good. Finally, the language of the manager who suggested that support should be outsourced is very eliminating. Support calls are not from the customers but from incompetent end users. Incompetent and users too lazy to use user guides, refocusing managers on customers appears to be long overdue. Now, the next cultural web part is routines and rituals. Okay, concerns the way we do things around here. Okay, so at iCompute, this involves long working hours, and after work social activities. And after work social activities such as football, socializing, and playing computer games. So the ladder of these reinforces the technical focus was discussed in symbols of employees. Okay. Uh, the routines and rituals of the organization. Organization would exclude females from it. This would almost certainly contribute contribute to the company's inability to recruit and retain women employees. Okay. Furthermore, long working hours and commitments or sorry, long working hours and after work activities will also alienate employees who have to get or simply do not wish to be one of the lads, the most uh, okay, the